Hi, this is Belinda Calibriali, and this is Talking High Performance with Belle. So I'm making this podcast for people who want to live their best life, people who know that there's more in them, but they just don't know how to get it. So there's a gap, something's missing, I'm making it for them. Welcome to another episode of Talking High Performance with Belle, and I still can't believe that we're halfway through the year. And as you know, this month we're talking all things confidence. And a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about how to make decisions with ease. And I want to follow up on that today because making decisions is such an important topic, and it's such an important topic to be able to navigate both in our personal and professional lives. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how to do that today and how to really step it up and make decisions that feel good to you, where you're confident about who you are and you're confident about what you share or what you don't share. And I want to introduce a couple of concepts to help you do just that today. So last week, I spoke about self-awareness and understanding the power duo between self-awareness and confidence and the impact that both of those have on each other. And sometimes, the impact that it has when we don't do well with one of those areas, and it has an impact on the other and holds us back. And we spoke about things that we can do that are within our control. And a couple of those were rewriting our story or playing to our strengths. And today, as the perfect lead on from that, I want to talk to you about making decisions that you can not only stick to, but that you can feel good about. And one of the ways to help you do that is to really define your goals. So thinking about our future can often feel a little bit scary. In fact, when I say to clients, where do you want to be in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now? For some people, it can be really overwhelming and it can feel really hard because they're going through the day or the week to week and not really thinking about, what would their dream life look like? What would reaching their goals or reaching their aspirations look like? Or how would they feel if they changed a few things? But if you think about life and you think about yourself and you're at a crossroads and you're faced with a decision, what's the difference between a high performer and somebody who's just going through the day-to-day? And the difference is a high performer really understands the importance of aligning decisions with their overarching goals. And this is all about thinking big picture. So if you're thinking about a decision and you know the end goal, it's much easier to lean into that decision and go, yes, this is what I need to do, or no, this isn't really important. But when you don't know what the end goal is, or you don't have that clear path or that clear direction of where you want to end up, every little decision can become quite hard because you're sort of just navigating through a maze, not really knowing where to go. And a lot of the things that people do is they just give up on the decision or they give up on the goal because they don't even know what the goal is. And so they follow the day-to-day and work on things that really don't lead them anywhere. On the flip side of that, if you are aware of your goal, leaning into what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing becomes a whole lot easier. And while you're leaning into these decisions, you feel a whole lot more confident because you are really clear on where you want to go. You may not be clear on the path to get there, but you're really clear on where you want to go. So the first part on making confident decisions is to really define what is your end goal, because when you know what your end goal is, the steps before that are a whole lot easier. The second point I want to talk to you about is to really get informed. So overcoming overwhelm, especially when it comes to making decisions, requires information. And one of the stories that hold us back in business and in life is the story that, I'm not prepared, I'm not enough, what will other people think, will I fail? But when you're informed and when you are prepared and you're capable and you know that you're resilient and you'll work it out, it really helps you to build that confidence. And high performers know that knowledge is power. And so to get informed or to develop a skill or to get really clear on a situation is really important to alleviate the burden that comes with uncertainty. So when you think about your own life, think about, are you taking strategic approaches to decision making by researching, by seeking advice, by talking to people who have been there before, and even by weighing in on your options? Or is there more that you need to learn before you can make a specific decision? Is there someone that you need to reach out to? Is there something that you need to read up on? If something doesn't feel quite right, getting informed is really, really important in helping you to live a life where you feel confident. So that's my second point. The third point is all around trusting your intuition. And I've spoken about this previously, but our intuition is something that many of us ignore, including myself in the past. And quite often when I've ignored my intuition, when something doesn't quite feel right, it shows up a little bit later as a reminder that, Belle, you didn't listen and this is what's happening now. So our intuition is a really powerful guide within us. And a high performer will understand the importance of trusting their inner voice amidst the noise and amidst the chaos. So, if everybody's going in one direction, but your body or your mind is saying, I'm not sure about that, if that's right for you, trust that intuition and get curious as to why am I feeling this way, and tune into your instincts, as they often hold the key to our most aligned choices. And if I use an example from my own life, a few years ago, I went to do some co-working with someone I knew, and my gut was telling me that within this partnership, there were parts that weren't quite going to work because our values weren't aligned. But I ignored it. And 6 months down the track, we weren't working together anymore due to a misalignment in values and also in vision. But I ignored this initially because I wanted this to work so badly. But I should have, in hindsight, listened to my intuition and followed my instincts. And this quite often happens when, we're staying in a job role that we don't love, or we're in a relationship that we're not really that happy with. We ignore all the little signs and all the little red flags along the way because we want it to work out. So trusting your intuition is really, really important. The last point I want to bring up with you today is all about evaluating risks and benefits. And this is all about breaking down decisions into two different categories. So if you're not sure about what the pros and cons are and your intuition isn't helping you, or you don't necessarily have that belief where you're really confident about what it's telling you, breaking down risks and benefits into pros and cons can be a really great way to help you build confidence. So this approach minimizes the overwhelm, and it really helps you to make a decision with confidence and greater ease. And it also helps you to get more informed. So it covers a couple of these points that I've spoken about today. And this is all around providing a structured framework for decision making and then feeling into the choices that come with that and seeing what aligns. So there are some ways that I wanted to talk to you about today to hopefully help you master decisions more confidently in your everyday life. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to remember that confidently mastering decisions is a skill, and it's a skill cultivated through practice, through patience, through being courageous at times. And it's a commitment to progress. We're not going to get it right all the time, and we're not going to be our most courageous version of ourselves all the time. So it's not something that naturally comes easily for everybody. There are thoughts and steps that often go on in the background to help people get to the point where they're at now. And with each decision that you make, it's a stepping stone towards your version of mastery and towards living your life with ease and confidence. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Next week, we wrap up Confidence Month. And until then, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle.